A group of House Republicans has filed articles of impeachment against President Biden. The New York Post reports the impeachment is over the immigration crisis at the southern border and the chaotic withdrawal from Afghanistan. One of the Republicans says that it will be hard to move forward given that Democrats are in control of both the House and the Senate. And joining us now is Tom Bevan, president and co-founder of Real Clear Politics. Tom, welcome back. Great to see you again. As we just mentioned, articles of impeachment have been levied against President Biden. I'd like to get your thoughts on that and how you see this playing out.
Well, it's obviously not going to go anywhere with Nancy Pelosi in charge of the House and obviously Chuck Schumer in charge of the Senate. This is actually the second time Marjorie Taylor Greene filed articles of impeachment against Biden the day after he took office. And so this is largely a symbolic effort. 4 Republicans have joined in. Now, things might be different a year from now or so if Republicans can win back the House of Representatives in the midterm election. Then something like this might be more than symbolic, depending on what the status is at that point. But right now, it's simply just registering a disappointment, disapproval of Biden's handling of certain issues, and is purely symbolic.
Yeah, and according to the latest Gallup poll, President Joe Biden's approval ratings have dropped to 43%, with the majority of Americans now disapproving of his job performance. Let's talk more about that. What's led to this drop? And do you think that President Biden can rebound and gain back the confidence of the American people?
Well, we shall see about that. I mean, certainly the Gallup number was bad for him. It's his lowest number in that poll. And in our Real Clear Politics average of multiple polls, he reached a low of 45% about 10 days ago, is back to about 46%. Again, that's an average of many polls. His disapproval rating is now over 50% for the first time and has been there for about 4 days in a row now. And so the question for Biden is, obviously he's dealing with multiple crises. Bad news is coming every single day. The problem is that one of the issues that he's suffered from is this, sort of lack of trust with the American people. He has told them repeatedly things about Afghanistan, things about the border, and other issues that are contradicted by reports on the ground. And that is something that once that's lost, it's very tough to recover from. So we'll have to see where this goes from here. But 45% for Biden is not a very good number, and it certainly has Democrats nervous, again, as they consider the midterms next year with a bunch of, particularly in the Senate, Democratic incumbents that could be vulnerable.
Yeah, and you mentioned the border. Let's talk about that. The crisis there just seems to be getting worse and worse. And today, as we talked about before, the Special Envoy to Haiti resigned over the deportation of Haitian migrants. This, as we've also been hearing, there are a number of those migrants that are being released into the U.S. on a large scale. What more do you know about this and what the Biden administration is actually doing to get that situation at the border under control?
Well, so Jen Psaki just had a press briefing today and took a lot of questions about this. And again, this is, and one of those questions was, there were 15,000 Haitian migrants under the border in Del Rio, Texas, just a couple of days ago. Now the administration says that they've sent about 1,500 back and there are only 5,000 left, which leaves about 9,000 or so that are unaccounted for. And the administration is not giving precise numbers about just exactly how many people have been released into the United States and under what circumstances. Jen Psaki said some of them are being transferred to ICE detention centers. Some of them are giving NTAs, notice to appear, at some point in the future, that understanding that they would, when called, would come back and deal with their immigration status. Not a lot of folks often do that. So, and this is part of the problem. There's no easy fix for the Biden administration right now. They continue to say that the border is closed, but the actual results on the ground suggest that it's not closed. It's not exactly what they are saying. And so it's a real political headache, and it doesn't look like it's going to come to a conclusion anytime soon.
And Tom, before I let you go, we've about a minute or so left. I understand Real Clear Investigations has a story about National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan and how he's tied into Special Counsel John Durham's grand jury investigation. What more can you tell us about that?
So Paul Sperry wrote for Real Clear Investigations, again, published this morning, that Jake Sullivan, he was not named in the Durham indictment that came out, but Paul has sources that suggest that he was an unnamed. He was described by his job job description, and that he is involved in and was involved in the spreading of the misinformation about Alpha Bank that landed Michael Sussman, the lawyer from Perkins Coie, in this Durham indictment. And so there's there's much more to come on this, I think, in the future. But for right now, it looks as if Jake Sullivan is at the center or near the center of the ongoing Durham probe and Durham investigation.
Well, Tom, we will be keeping our eye on that for sure. Thank you so much for your time today. Tom Bevan, president and co-founder of Real Clear Politics. Thanks again.
Thank you.